Netmarble just released a new game called Mongil Star Dive, and before I even got past the login screen, the community already had a name for themselves, the Mongilers. Now usually when a game's branding is this close to an accidental slur, you'd expect a bit of panic from the marketing department, but this is Netmarble. They've been doing this since 2013 with the original monster taming, and they know exactly what they're doing. They want you hyped, they want you focused on the Unreal Engine 5 visuals, and they want you to ignore the 8GB wall they put between you and the actual gameplay. Let's see if there's a real game under all this chrome. After waiting through that 8GB download, which is the classic gacha welcome mat, you're finally allowed in. First big choice, the voice language. Obviously, I went with Japanese because I'm a huge weeb, mostly. Then you hit the mode selection, Path of Dawn or Path of Dusk. Path of Dawn is the casual story mode. Basically the I want to watch a movie button. Path of Dusk is the action mode. Obviously, we're here for the mechanics, so we're picking the Dusk. You can toggle between the two in the menu, but I didn't really check out if there's any difference there. Game starts with the story dump, as they all do. I'm not a big lore guy. I'm here for the buttons and the loops, but visually, Netmarble actually cooked here. Unreal 5 is doing a lot of heavy lifting. The lighting, the character models, the environments. It looks like a premium title. It doesn't feel like a cheap mobile port. The interaction effect is a little kitty paw. It's cute, it's cozy. Then you get into the actual world. Episode 1, the Dreamer Boy. The first thing I noticed, no auto-pathing. You have a navigate button that points you in the right direction, but you actually have to move your character yourself. In a modern Netmarble game, that's almost a revolutionary design choice. I started with the bow. I don't know how the game knew I love bows, but it felt right. Then came the first mechanical friction, picking up a mushroom. You don't just walk over them, you have to rapidly tap a button to lift them. It's a small QuickTime event, but it adds a bit of tactile feedback to the world. Then you switch to the second character, the sword user lady, and you kill the mushrooms. You just spend 5 minutes trying to lift. The combat feels smooth. The skills are pretty standard action RPG fare. Cooldowns, flashy effects, tag team swapping. But then I met the first boss, a giant pig, and things got a little bit weird. The pig boss is something else. At one point my character is literally being rotated on a spit over a campfire. The boss is trying to cook me for food. It's pretty hilarious. It's the kind of personality I wasn't expecting from a corporate Unreal 5 project. Mechanically, the boss fight introduces the red attack. These are powerful moves that you can't counter or trigger an evasion counter on. You just have to move away. Shift, get out of the way. The ultimate for the bow character is a massive frost arrow. It looks great. It's not so flashy that it hides what's happening on the screen. I do appreciate that. The readability in the combat is actually quite high. Even when the pig starts flying, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say, the straight face. But the real hook of the game is in the combat. It's the Nilvarcus. The game introduces its version of Pokemon. They call them Nilvarcus or Monsterlings, and you get to name your companion cat. Naturally, I tested the limits. I named him Poopfist. And Netmarble let me. No invalid name, no contains profanity. Just what an interesting name indeed. 5 out of 5 for player freedom. The mechanic itself is basically Wuthering Waves ecosystem, but cozier. You defeat a monster and there's a capture rate above its head. If you succeed, your cat literally eats the soul of the monster. It's a bit dark when you think about it, but it grants you a monsterling you can equip. My first one, a copy, gave me a 5% crit rate buff. There's a full codex, essentially a Pokédex, to track all these. It's a solid loop, kill, capture, equip, repeat. But 24 minutes in, the real game started. The gacha animation is flashy. Gears spinning, the cat flying through the space and time. It's a high production gambling. My first pull was an angel, a cowboy lady with dual pistols. Let's go. But when you look at the roster, it's a bit skewed. There's one dude, Sangun, and everyone else is a waifu. It's a standard theme in gacha games, but here it's dialed up to 11. Then I unlocked Francis. I have to be honest, I was shocked. Outfits in this game are skimpy. It's an understatement. We are talking, how is this allowed on the Epic Game Store level of design? Big boob anime girls in what can only be described as a dental floss. It's a deliberate choice. Netmarble knows their target market, but it does feel a bit corporate slop when you are looking at the character roster that looks like a Victoria's Secret catalog for weebs. I did a few more pulls, got Jiwoon, support character with the musical instrument. And then I set my rate up for Penny, because she has a bow. And as we established, I love bows as a weapon. The exploration gets a bit more interesting with the grappling hook. You can jump up and down cliffs, collect chests, the usual stuff. I met Uncle Copy, a mushroom with a mustache and cap. Pretty genius design. But then I hit the Suspicious Man quest, and the game turned into a Subway Surfers. I'm not kidding. It's a lane-based runner where you avoid bombs on a track. It's a true brain rot content. Like those TikTok videos where half of the screen is a GTA gameplay and the other half is someone cutting soap. It's weird, it's distracting, but it's actually a decent minigame. Best part of exploration though, fast travel. It's everywhere. Netmarble actually respects your time when it comes to traversal. No unnecessary running around. You click, you're there. I love that. But then, about an hour in, I hit the wall. A combat wall. Swapped to my full waifu team. Angel, Jiwoon, and Francis. And since the gacha gods are feeling spicy, I ended up with 2 support characters. In any other game, that would be in a death sentence. In Mongil, it just makes you immortal. I couldn't die, but I also couldn't kill anything quickly. Game also has some kind of link chain system where you can craft gear for your Monsterlings. It definitely adds some depth, damage boost, fire damage, cooldown reduction. But it doesn't save the fundamental issue for me. The combat is just generic. It's exactly what you expect from a Netmarble action RPG. It's flashy, it's smooth, but it feels empty. This whole Genshin-style swap combat has been done so many times since 2020, and Mongil doesn't do anything to innovate on it. By the time I killed the first big boss at the end of the hour, I was completely bored. I had gilded the boss, I got my shiny chest, and I just wanted to log out. So where does that leave Mongil Star Dive? It's a solid game. It runs well, the Unreal 5 visuals are absolutely gorgeous, the monster catching gimmick is fun for a while, but the mountain it has to climb is just too high. Why would I play this over Zenless Zone Zero, or Wuthering Waves, or even the original Genshin Impact? You have millions of players already invested in those ecosystems. Mongil feels like a tourist game. You come for the Unreal 5 graphics, you stay for the Poop Fister memes, and then you leave when you realize the combat is just more of the same. And then there's the Netmarble Tax. Historical evidence suggests that as soon as the honeymoon phase ends, the power creep and the monetization will hit like a truck. Current 100% pity system feels like a bait. It's a solid average. But in a market this crowded, average just doesn't cut it. If you like collecting waifus and Pokemon, give it a shot for a weekend. Don't be surprised if you never look back. I'm Nilvarcus. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.